as, of course, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has warned Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza to stop holding her Okolea meetings, terming them a threat to peace and stability in Meru County. This is after chaos rocked the governor's program last Sunday at Makiri, Igembe South constituency, where angry residents slaughtered a cow and burnt mattresses. The governor was scheduled to donate. Kindiki, who spoke at Kiengu sub-county in Igembe Central, where he officially opened and installed the first deputy county commissioner, dared the governor and other political leaders planning retaliatory meetings to try him. Kindiki has further ordered all those involved in the Sunday incident, including leaders, to record a statement or statements with the police.
Taarifa ambayo imenifikia ni kwamba watu wa mrengo wa governor wa Meru County walifanya uchochezi, walivuruga amani, walitusi watu wengine, na vile vile walipiga wanahabari. Lakini vile vile wale ambao walichokozwa pia walifanya vitendo vya kuvunja sheria ya nchi yetu. Nimeona kwa vyombo vya habari kuna watu sijui wamepanga mkutano wengine wa uchochezi tu kama huu mahali pengine kule Imenti Central. Huo mkutano hautaendelea. Okay? And please don't try me.
Tafadhali waziri, these are very innocent people. Kuna wakati mtu analetewa shinda na haku anashinda. Unajua, hata kwa wewe unajua sheria. Kama mtu amekuletea shinda na huku ana hiyo shinda, sasa nani ana problem? Si ni yule ameleta? Sasa kama yule ameleta mpaka leo hajawahi andikisha hata statement. Ni kwa nini?
Na wakati tulisimama pale Lale, tukasema pande ya Meru, Mithika Linturi. Tukasema mambo ya Mount Kenya East, Kithuge Kindiki. Tumefanya makosa gani? Huyu mwingine anakasirikia nini? Jenga uhusiano na watu. Kama ujengi uhusiano na watu, wewe sio kiongozi, na we are not going to give you time.
And detectives from the DCI have arrested 9 employees of a Savings and Credit Sacco Society in relation to the disappearance of approximately 160 million shillings. The employees of Jiwa Sacco, belonging to staff of the National Intelligence Service (NIS), were rounded up following comprehensive joint investigations conducted by detectives and officials from the spy agency. The 9 include senior SACCO officials Amos Kipchumba, who was the internal auditor, the loans manager Violet Wali, the accountant Karen Langat, and systems analyst Tamisi Zaunga and Miriam Thenya. Others include Atela, identified as Nicodemus Osiemo, Eric Rono from Sure Step Systems, Moses Ntoinya on his officer and his officer who colluded with the SACCO staff to siphon the funds, Anthony Wabomba, a former employee of the SACCO Society. The 9 who have since been dismissed from the SACCO face 9 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony, stealing by servant, false accounting by the servant, negligence, computer fraud, forgery, uttering a false document, access with intent to commit an offense, among other charges. They will be arraigned in court Monday, September the 25th, 2023, to answer to their crimes. And now, players in the real estate sector have raised an alarm over delays in processing of title deeds, which they say has caused a crisis in the sector. The Association of Real Estate Stakeholders claim that the delays have been occasioned by rampant corruption in various land registries across the country, which have been infiltrated by cartels. The association chairperson, Kinyua Wairatu, also noted that some unilateral decisions relating to the Senate or the sector made by the national and the county governments, including changes in land rates and other statutory fees, withdrawal of registers in some land registries, and changes in geospatial plans, are to blame for the crisis.
Ladies and gentlemen, as LESA, we have also noted with concern several sudden unilateral decisions relating to real estate made by both the national and county governments without engaging affected stakeholders. This includes changes in RAD rates and other statutory fees, withdrawals of registers in some land registries, changes in geospatial plans, notably in Kajiado, and other registries like Naivasha, Nanyuki, Kilifi, and of worth noting, Dakacha area, among others. Therefore, call for the government of Kenya, in conjunction with county government, to take swift and decisive actions to address the root cause of these delays and ensure that every citizen receive their government documents in a timely manner. And to this end, we make the following recommendations. 1, the government should conduct a thorough investigation through comprehensive investigation into the reason behind the delays in processing these documents. There is need to identify the specific bottlenecks, procedural shortcomings, and other instances of corruption that may be contributing to these delays.
It was song and dance at Tot area in the troubled Kerio Valley region as residents from warring communities of Pokot, Marakwet and Turkana marked a historic 1 year of relative peace in a region that has been hostile for decades. The celebrations brought together political and religious leaders, security teams from the county government, the national government and non-governmental organizations. And the relative peace has been achieved through the various structures, through the grassroots with the warring communities, forming peace committees and elders dialogue teams, while ensuring they have their own way of trading to curb any hostility.
Lazima tuhifadhi na lazima tuchunge ile rasilimali mali ambapo tumeletewa hapa Kerio Valley na serikali ili kuweza kutufanyia kazi ya kuweza kuleta amani. Lazima tushikane mikono. Na one thing so peculiar in Kerio Valley, na ninashukuru hii, hata tukikwarusana, hata tukikosana, tukiitana kuweza kuzungumza, ninaona tena watu wote kutoka Tiati, watu wote kutoka West Pokot na Elgeyo Marakwet tunakusanyika hapa, tunahubiri amani. Hiyo ni kumaanisha ya kwamba njia ya kutafuta amani kuweza kumaliza haiko mbali kati yetu.
Our focus is in West Pokot. We work in Masol and Lumut wards. Our focus is primarily mainstreaming conflict sensitivity in climate action. So we are working with community structures, specifically ward adaptation committees, to enhance considerations for conflict sensitivity, given that most of the conflict in the region is primarily because of resource competition over resources, which has been worsened by changing climatic conditions such as drought.
Siku ya leo kama mimi niko na furaha sana kama akina mama, kwa sababu kwa muda sana tumekuwa na utovu ya usalama kwa upande huu wa Kerio.
Now, the Senate Health Committee has raised concerns over understaffing of health workers in the counties. The committee members who visited West Pokot County said that there is a huge gap of health workers in the devolved units, in that many doctors have left the country in search of greener pastures abroad. The committee, led by Uasin Gishu Senator Jackson Mandago, wants counties in liaison with the Ministry of Health to absorb and replace doctors' medical interns to address the shortage of doctors in the devolved units.
Na county government ilikuwa watoto locals wawe trained waingie 30% of them wachukuliwe kutoka locals ili in turn waende kusaidia watu mashinani kwa medical facilities.
We have noted that there are quite a number of doctors on study leave. In fact, in this facility alone, we have 10 doctors in study leave. Of course, we need the doctors to specialize, to acquire additional knowledge so that they can offer better service. But national government through Ministry of Health must now step in so that medical interns can be absorbed by counties by making sure what was agreed upon between national government and county governments, that all doctors on study leave pursuing postgraduate studies, their salaries should be drawn from national government. The salaries they were drawing from county governments then can allow counties to replace those doctors with medical interns.
Sisi hasa seneti, kwa sababu senate sana, kazi ya senate ni kuona kwamba serikali za ugatuzi zimeweza kuendelea mbele na waweze kuweka nguvu sana, hasa serikali kuu kuona kwamba mambo pesa nyingi ama rasilimali iweze kukatuliwa zaidi ili serikali za kaunti ziweze kuendelea mbele.
Now, Kenya has joined the world in marking World Chronic Myeloid Leukemia Day, themed Living for the Moment. This is in a bid to enhance quality care for cancer patients. Over 2,000 have benefited from 3 cancer drugs and GIBAP, a program for 19 years. Now, the program was pioneered by the Nairobi Hospital in partnership with Max Foundation and Henzo Kenya, among other stakeholders.
People like Professor Benya and Nairobi Hospital to help in this. We call for more partnerships in our endeavor to improve the livelihoods of those affected. Together, we can. In conclusion, together we can. El futuro edificanos. In conclusion, the road ahead in the management of blood disorders and cancers is challenging, but through strategic partnerships, we can overcome these challenges and provide a ray of hope to the countless lives affected by these diseases. Let me repeat that. We can overcome these challenges and provide a ray of hope to the countless lives affected by these diseases. Let us unite our efforts, share our resources, work collaboratively to ensure that cancer care in Kenya is accessible, efficient, and compassionate for all. And I thank those of you here who are doing that you are doing a great job. You are doing a great job. Just one last story as I sit down. When I was a kid in primary school, I don't want to tell you when, I was being taught in a private school called Niru. But every other teacher I met in that school told me, your father was my teacher. And they were very prosperous. So I went home very annoyed because my father had a teacher and then he crossed over to be a clergyman. And I was driving an old bicycle all over. And you know, clergymen don't earn a lot of money. So I went to my father, why did you leave teaching and come to this job of yours, which I don't think is very rewarding? And he was very upset how a little kid can ask him that question. But he chose to be civil and to tell me the truth. Yes.
And now, residents of Odioi area in Amukura West Ward, Busia County, have launched a bamboo tree planting campaign to save wetlands in the area from degradation and impending landslides as a result of uncontrolled mining. According to the residents, the mining activities have threatened their ecosystem, and the only source of water, River Odioi, is slowly fading away. It's in this line that environmental organizations in the area have partnered with the county government of Busia to conserve and restore the ecosystems that existed before the grid mining activities struck the area.
Patulipo, mahali ambapo vijana wanafanya mining ya sand ili kutafuta riziki, na tunaona kwamba hapa kuna hatari ya kimazingira ambayo inaendelea kutokea. Sasa sisi tumekuja kuangalia hapa na tunaelekea kukubaliana na hawa vijana, tutakuja tuzungumze nao, tukubaliane vipi ambavyo tunafanya ili kuhifadhi mazingira hapa, ili hali wakiendelea na shughuli zao za kujitafutia riziki.
Angalia ni lipi ambalo tunaweza fanya kuweza kuendelea kwa rest hii gali ambayo imekuwa inaendelea kupanuka, na pia kuangalia ni miradi ipi endelezi ambayo jamii ya Odioi inaweza fanya ili achane na mambo ya kuweza ku mine sand au kuvuna mchanga, ambayo imekuwa ni njia ambayo imefanya hii bonde liendelee kupanuka kwa ukubwa.
Leo hii tumeweza kupanda miche ya bambu 2,000. Wameweza kuzindua kwa njia ya kipekee nasari ambayo itafanya nini kukuza hizi mbegu za bambu. So leo tumefanya mambo mawili makubwa. Kupanda zile bambu 2000, kupanda ile nyazi ambayo inadhibiti mambo ya mmomonyoko udongo, na pia kuzindua nini nasari ya bambu.
Well, 306 persons with disabilities in Kirinyaga County are a happy lot after their county government issued them with assorted assistive devices. The donation involved 90 wheelchairs, 16 crutches, 16 white canes, prosthetics, 5 hearing aids and colostomy bags. And according to Governor Waiguru, the Kirinyaga County government has embarked on massive registration of all persons able differently in the county.
Today, to bring cheer to some of the people living with disabilities in our county, as we support 306 of them with assorted assistive devices and other essential commodities. Out of this, tunapatiana wheelchair 90 wheelchairs, 37 zikiwa pediatric, yani ya za watoto, 53 za watu wazima. Tuko na crutches 16, tuko na white canes 16. Pia tuko na watu 4 ambao watakuwa fitted with prosthetics, yani kama vile umesikia ndugu yangu akiongea kuhusu mguu, hiyo ndio inaitwa prosthetic, na wengine 5 watapewa hearing aids zenye zinasaidia mtu kusikia. We will also issue 6 people with, na sisi tunawaomba hao ambao hawajajiandikiza, yani they are not yet registered, waende ama wapelekwe ama wale ambao wanawasaidia ndio waweze kufanywa assessment na wakuwe registered, ndio tujue vile ambavyo tungeweza kuwasaidia.
Well, prosthetics, they say, is always a tongue twister for many. Now, as the Deaf Awareness Week comes to a close, people with hearing impairment have decried what they term as isolation from the society. While speaking in Thika, Paul Masharia, a sign language interpreter, noted that lack of sign language interpreters in public places is presenting great challenges and communication barrier, citing places such as hospitals and police stations. They want the government to come up with guidelines for communication with the healthcare workers and security agents in order to solve the problem. Further, they have challenged government and general public to learn the Kenya Sign Language for ease of communication with people with hearing impairment.
Changamoto katika services zenye tunapata kwa serikali na especially katika ile setup tuko nayo hapa Thika. One thing, watu ambao wako na disability ya kutosikia, ukiwatazama disability yao haionekani. Ukiwatazama huwezi jua wako na disability. Na unakuta wamepewa nafasi ya kuuza biashara ama kufanya biashara hapa Thika, na wakati kanjo wanakuja wakiangalia watu wako na ulemavu, hawaoni watu deaf kama wako na huo ulemavu. Kwa hivyo wanakuwa na hiyo changamoto. Vitu zao zinachukuliwa, zingine zinaenda zinakuwa confiscated kwa sababu ulemavu wao hauonekani.
Serikali ijue deaf, na pia time tunauliza vitu zingine tuambiwe, si ati kuja baadaye.
To achieve the celebration for our problems to be heard. So we want to inform the public with the deaf and persons with disability. Means disability we cannot work, we can work, because it is only that we are deaf. We are not hearing, but we can work.
And in the same breath, Nyandarua woman representative Faith Wairimu Gitau has urged the Ministry of Health to ensure people with disability are well catered for under the Universal Health Coverage Program. Speaking at the Nyandarua School for the Deaf in Engineer Town, that is during the commemoration of International Deaf Awareness Week, Gitau noted that people with disabilities are faced with myriad of challenges, which include lack of supportive devices. Additionally, parents have been encouraged to learn sign language for the effective communication with their children who have hearing problems. This year's theme is creating a world where deaf people everywhere can sign anywhere.
Tunafaa tujue kwanza lugha yao inaitwa Kenya Sign Language, na lugha hili tujue tukienda sokoni, hospitali, kwa polisi, kotini na any other services that can be given to them that they can need.
Mlemavu wote awe akisaidiwa na NHIF kununua devices zile zinamsaidia, kama ni kusikia, kama ni kutembea, kama ni wheelchairs, iwe NHIF inawasaidia. Kwa hivyo najua serikali itaniunga mkono na hiyo itapita bunge hawana shida. Watu shikane to ensure at every school iko na class moja ile inashughulikia wale hawasikii na hawaongei, ndio at least wale watoto wako nyumbani kama kule Daragwa, Oljororok, Olkalau, Kipipiri, wote watolewe wawe wakienda shule kama watoto wale wengine.
Now, private schools are now appealing to the government to offer grants or cheap loans to develop their facilities as they transition to 2633 curriculum, and of course is yet to be achieved. Peterson Gishuki, the principal in charge of ACK Thika Memorial Church School, noted that most of their private schools have been struggling to set up quality and adequate structures that can facilitate proper implementation of the new curriculum that enables learners to showcase their talents and abilities alongside academic work. They are rooting for provision of tax holidays for private schools to encourage them to grow and further the quality learning they have been offering over the years.
To request the government to come also on board and support the private sector in provision of cheap loans or affordable loans, grants which can be used to develop the private schools. The private sector is employing teachers, and therefore we are partnering in provision of employment. As the government continues to talk about provision or creating of jobs, 2 million jobs or 1 million jobs or 500,000 million jobs per year, the private sector, especially the private schools, have come on board and they are doing very well in terms of provision.
Now, the Cabinet Secretary for Water, Natural Resources and Climate Change in Mombasa County, Emilia Ching, has acknowledged that the water supply in Mombasa is still limited following the growing population and the effects of climate change. The county government of Mombasa is looking forward to the completion of the county. She has, however, called on Mombasa residents to embrace water harvesting during the heavy rains season starting next month to January 2024.
Katika sanitation tunajaribu extend sewer lines. Tunajua we have an infrastructure ambayo ni ya kitambo, pande zingine zimecollapse. We are investing kuweka new sewer lines, especially as we prepare for El Nino. Tunajua if we don't invest in here, that's a health crisis because kutakuwa na outbreaks. But we are also sensitizing wananchi wale ambao wanafaa kumove to higher areas. Kule mahali ambapo tunadhani kutakuwa na contamination, tunagawanya aqua tubs, na ili kujaribu tu kujitayarisha kama county tusipatikane na El Nino kama hatuko sawa. Our future plans is to ensure kuwa even surface runoff can either be used for ground recharge ama can be used for irrigation and farming. So that is why we are also rehabilitating our sewer lines, because we have overflowing sewer lines to the stormwater drains. So if you do not work on the other end, hauwezi kuwa utakusanya haya maji ifanye any irrigation.
And the Ministry of Water and Sanitation and Irrigation led the planting of trees for the Mwache Dam development project in Kwale County, where the community and school children were involved in achieving government's targets to plant more than about 15 billion trees by 2030. The success of the government's resolution is a great impetus in protecting the improvement and measures to deal with climate change. The team has also encouraged Kenyans to improve livelihoods by planting fruit trees so as to improve both tree cover and livelihoods. The completion of the Mwache Dam will supply piped water to Mombasa County and Kwale County, as well as irrigation water to at least 2,000 hectares. President William Ruto has performed a groundbreaking of the project on April 2023, where job creation will take place within the 54 months of construction duration.
Na kwa sasa tangu jana mpaka leo tumepanda miti 3,200. Na hasa kabisa umuhimu wa kupanda hii miti ni kwa sababu mizingara ya hapa dorora sana, imeharibika sana, na tunataka kuhifadhi ile dam tunapanda ili tuweze kupata maji ya kutosha.
Target ya Kwale ni kupanda miti milioni 290 katika kipindi cha miaka 10. Hiyo ni miti 2.9 billion kila mwaka. Tayari kumepandwa miti milioni 4 kufikia sasa.
Kama hapa tumepanda miti ya kuna coconuts, kuna maembe, kuna machungwa. Other than just kuongeza tree cover, pia tunaleta improve livelihoods za watu. Sasa kwa hiyo matunda watakuwa wakikula na wengine wanaweza uza, na tutawaunganisha kama cooperative societies ndio watumie waweze kuvuna hiyo miti.
Tumezungumza na tutakuwa na mazungumzo zaidi na wenzangu pamoja na county commissioner kuona kwamba ni vipi miti ambayo tunaipanda inakuwa na usalama, haiwezi kutatizwa na wanyama pori ambao wanatoka zile sehemu zao za mbuga na kuvamia mashamba, kwa sababu anapovamia shamba, anapoona miti kama hii ambayo tumepanda, ndio atafikiri yeye ni chakula na akule.
Nia na madhumuni ni kuhifadhi vyanzo vya maji vya Mwache Dam.